All right, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and fishing accomplices, good morning and welcome back to Fishing. So it is September 14th, 2024, and yeah, back on the water. Surprise, surprise. Today we're fishing in the Western Sound region, trying to mix things up a little bit. Haven't fished these waters for a little while, and I am fishing with Peter Ranieri. We're both on the water to start today, and we're going to try and get into some, well, whatever we can find, but certainly there's a lot of options. Hoping to find some sea bass, though in addition to that there could be some weak fish around, fluke, porgies, potentially even bluefish and stripers, and other things as well. Right now we're just looking to get into some good structure and fishing probably about 30 to maybe even up to 60 feet of water depending on how things go. So that is the plan for today, and that is all I've got to say. We're about to get some fishing accomplished. All right, let's get things going. We're gonna start the paddle shad. Got a 3/4 ounce jig head, about 45, 50 feet of water. S&S jig head. Let's see what we can do. See what we can do in these rocks. Definitely looks like there's some interesting life here. Oh, Pete's on. Well, that's what we want. Just not that size. What weight you fishing? Half ounce. Yeah. I got 3/4 right now. I'll see what happens. Oh man, yo, good fish. Yeah. Maybe not huge, but it's nice. I don't know yet. It's biting. I think it's a fluke. Not sure. Probably sea bass, actually. Or maybe a weak fish. I have no idea. Oh, it's a big fluke, dude. Big fluke. Big fluke. Dude. 5-pounder. Dude, this is my biggest sound fluke. I'd say 24. No way, man. No way. He's hooked like a little bit in the side of the head, so he's fighting weird. Dude, this is nuts. Dude, look at this thing. At least 23, I want to say. Yeah. Hey, look at that thing. Dang. Yeah, right? That's really nice. Yeah. Wow.
Gave you a run and everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, because he's hooked in the side. He just laid on it.
On a paddle shad?
Yeah. Yeah, all right, well, that's already off to something good.
I like that,
Okay, let's deal with this guy. It's a nice fish for, you know, mid-September in the Western Sound. What's that?
I can't figure out which way to turn.
Yeah, I know, because I think it's wind against tide. Probably like 24, if I had to guess. Almost 24. That is a solid Western Sound fish. Yeah, that fluke had me guessing at the end. I wasn't sure what he was, but again, he was hooked kind of funny, so it makes sense. But yeah, he was hanging out pretty close to a big rock, so let's see if there's anything else around. I don't expect there to be a ton of fluke here, but there could be some nice fish. Okay, these fish are definitely here. I'm gonna try switching the presentation because we don't have a lot of time and I don't want to waste this moment. Speaking of moment though, that is also the name of today's seltzer. Moment Sparkling Botanicals. Cranberry ginger, drink your meditation. Whatever. This is part of our New York City line. Stuff that I picked up last time I did a seltzer tour in New York City, so let's not waste any time. Oh. That is quite gingery, but it has the aftertaste of the cranberry. It's not too sweet, but it definitely has a little bit more than I want. But this is pleasant enough, I suppose. Is it worth the added price? That's debatable. I'd give this around 8. Flavor, maybe a little bit too sweet, but pretty tasty. And hopefully this is a tasty video for you. It's, you know, meeting your appetite for fishing content, so let's see if we can make these fish bite. So now that I've sat with this for a little bit, I wouldn't necessarily call this a seltzer. It's a little too sweet, for the record, if you see this on store shelves. But I do like ginger, so I appreciate that. But yeah, we got another mini mac on here. I think it got torn apart by something. A little, but I'm gonna give this like 1 or 2 more drops. I'm gonna go out a bit deeper where Peter is. I don't have that much tide right now. All right, other than that, really nice surprise fluke. Not too much happening in shallow. Fluke and seltzer, I guess, but getting a lot of little bites, but I think they're just porgies because they're not taking the hook. Maybe small sea bass. Peter got one, so definitely check his video out if I didn't make that overwhelmingly clear, and subscribe if you haven't, but I'm sure you are. We're gonna move deeper. We were in around 40 to 45 feet of water in boulders. We're gonna go into some probably 50 to 60 foot stuff. A lot of structure, a lot of bottom. I think this will get a lot better once the tide really starts moving. I'm just hoping that sooner rather than later. You know, could be some really good stuff out here, so see what we can make happen. My gulp is just getting demolished, so I'm gonna try this Elias V shad. This is a 4.5 inch. It was like a pinkish color, pink and white, but I left it in the gulp juices for a while. Now it's basically just a pink, but I'm gonna give this a shot and see if this can withstand some of these fish a bit more and maybe call out the small stuff in favor of bigger stuff. So let's see what happens. There we go. Porgy. It's a baby compared to what we've been getting, but it's probably barely legal. Surprised he was able to take it. All right, rumor has it Peter just got into something good, so let's go check it out. Yeah, I was thinking about throwing some metal just to get away from these porgies, you know, just to or offset all the gulp and plastic being ruined.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just like thought, you know, I just need to try something different, and I put this.
Oh, that's yeah.
With some squid on there, and I was just going like this, and then all of a sudden, oh.
I should have brought my fluke strips with me, but
I have squid if you want.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold them up. Here, let me get a look at that fish. No, but he's delicious, so hell yeah. It's a nice fat one too. It's not just all fins, so like that's, you know, that's a 17.5, but if it had bigger fins, it'd be like an 18, 19 incher. Yeah, so those initial few hours on the water were very challenging. We had essentially no real moving tide because it was peaked. And we had some more wind than we were really expecting too, so the bite wasn't really that on, and we were really just trying to get a feel for where these fish were. Peter did get a few nice sea bass. I did get a few smaller ones, but really just bouncing all over the place, and I was really just trying anything that I thought could work. Peter got that bigger sea bass on a metal jig with some squid on the end of it, and I tried similar tactics and a number of other things. One of the biggest challenges this day, though, was just so many interference fish that were just demolishing the gulp, or any plastic for that matter, when it got down there. Even the squid wouldn't last very long. So, yeah, just trying the best to keep, the lure down there long enough to have a fish grab it. But again, it was not easy those first few hours.
Yeah, this wind's weird too. It's not, I knew we'd get some, but this is definitely, I mean, it's east. Anytime we get east or northeast, it's always sloppy. I guess I didn't think we'd have this much. Yeah, this is like 7 to 8, 9, I'd say. I mean, you got those. Yeah. Nothing good out here. I mean, there is, but there a lot of, oh, well, you know, not quite what I envisioned today when I was thinking of weak fish. All right, Peter's gonna have to start moving in now. He's got to finish early. He'll fish his way in, but we're gonna stay out here a little longer, so hopefully we can get on something. There's something. Little. Another baby weak fish. I expected these guys to be around, but I figured there'd be some better ones around. But we got time. That's something better. That's something better. It's another weak fish. Now that you're getting out, I'm like getting on a school of weak fish. Let's try that again. Go over that little patch, see if we can get more weak fish, and ideally some bigger ones. I'm happy just to be on some action right now. As suspected, I'm almost certain that's another weak fish. Yep. That's something all right. That's something all right. Sea robin. If it is a sea robin, I might turn them into strips. I don't really want to make a mess right now. It's a big sea robin, jeez. Massive sea robin. That guy's growling. Look at the size of that sea robin. There's part of me that wants to keep him for potential strip bait, but
Yeah, so looking back on this day, letting go of that sea robin was probably one of my biggest mistakes in hindsight. Considering how much plastic and gulp I ended up burning through, I definitely should have stripped that sea robin. Just with the amount of plastic that was destroyed by porgies and snapper bluefish, but hindsight 2020.
followed it up. That's gotta be sea bass or a bluefish. Bluefish. Dang. Let's not ruin anything, buddy. Come on. That's all right. weak fish. Maybe sea bass. That's a sea bass or bluefish. I think it's a bluefish. Weak fish. Little better. Little better than what we were doing. Bluefish? Bluefish or weak fish? Alright, well, they're getting bigger. That's the good news. That one's actually even worth a net, so we'll take them. Just spit it. These guys are good at spitting the hook. Alright, well, get on to some kind of pattern with these fish. That one's probably like 21 or 20-ish. Just for record keeping purposes. Not even 19 and change. Pretty. Alright. Weak fish are slowly getting bigger. Though when I was in this area last year, that would have been like the smallest one I would have gotten. But if they keep getting bigger, it's not a problem. I'm just hoping that's not where they're going to top out. Getting better. That's a good fish. Almost certain that's a weak fish. Or it might be a fluke. Oh, weak fish. Yeah. More of the same. I promise you, buddy, you do not want to hang out there. Well, we found the weak fish.
Once I encountered those weak fish, I did try and work the area to see if there's any better sized fish around, either weak fish or anything else, but it seemed like all I was really getting was smaller weak fish and maybe the occasional snapper bluefish or porgy mixed in. I did bounce around a bit and was able to kind of replicate this bite, but again, nothing of any real quality. Like, I was hoping to find much, much better size quality weak fish, especially for something that I don't typically keep. That or just a different species altogether. But, I bounced around quite a bit and to varying degrees of success.
Probably fished like at least 20 to 30 different rocks today. I was a bit more thorough this morning, but now that we're getting towards the last probably quarter of our day, I'm giving each spot like 5, no more than 10 minutes, and if there's no life, we just move. But we're making our way back to launch.
Okay, this is probably the last area I'm going to explore, and it's essentially where I started, but I didn't really put a lot of energy into this. Peter and I were really just trying to, you know, hit this on the way out before getting into some deeper stuff, but as we know, this is where that fluke came from, and I've done very well here with sea bass in the past, so let's see what happens. There's something. That's a sea bass. Finally. I think. This might be another weak fish. Jeez. It's alright. Jeez. Alright, well, it took all day, but we gotta keep her sea bass, I think. Alright. Heck yeah. When boulder hopping pays off, I think you should make 16 and a half. Alright. We'll be close. He is 16 and a half. Just a hair under. Oh well. I don't want to get cut though, so we're gonna let this guy go. This guy, I mean, if you call the top part of the tail, but that's the tendril. I should try one more time. Actually, he's getting out. Had to switch to gulp. My Elias shad finally lost its tail. Let's just see if this gets some of those fish that we missed. Throw something different at them. Might try the Mackinaw shad. There we go. That's a good one. That might do it. That might do it. He's not as chunky as the last one, but he's a lot more finny. Load it. Yeah, 15 3/4. This is the spot right here. Right here, right now. Give me 2 good sea bass. That's all I want. 2, maybe 3. Feeling bold. We're on them still. Come on.
Yeah, so by this point, it was just short sea bass mania. It was just one after another, and they were incredibly fired up, but there was just nothing even remotely close to keeper size from this point on. It was that first one that was almost or just about on the line of keeper, and then they just got progressively smaller. Before I did land that 16 and a half, though, I did hook into 1 or 2 that did feel a bit more significant, but I was never able to make those fish come back. So I'll save you the hassle of watching a bunch of short sea bass, and we'll just jump right into the closure.
All right, that's gonna have to do it for today. I could keep fishing, but I gotta get out of here. I got a good pedal back and clean this fish, pack everything up, drive home, yada yada. So yeah, interesting day. I hit all the species I wanted to hit, but the size was really not there, at least for the targeted species. And the one thing I really didn't think I'd get a keeper for, that nice fluke within like the first 10 minutes, kind of sealed the deal. So yeah, there's tons of bait around. So I don't know, I feel like I'm just like a little bit early to this party. Like I feel like in the next week when things start to hopefully cool down, a week or two, we get more into like actual fall mode. I think there'll be some more quality fish around and more consistent bite. But yeah, I was surprised, you know, there's a lot of weak fish around, but nothing in the caliber of what I was seeing around here in other parts of the Sound last year. But I guess every year's a little bit different. So happy to have the action, happy to bring home some dinner, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye from Fishin'.